your girl Sis-Lo, and we are here with another newsworthy update. Well, Saints, listen here. Today, the devil is spoken. Okay? Today, the assailant has lifted up her voice, reared her head, and she has spoken. Yes, sir, she has spoken, and she has given explanation to the reason why she has punches Lady Loretta Jones in the face. Sorry, there we go. I'm so sorry. She has given reason why she has punched Lady Loretta Jones in the face, and she is not apologetic about it. Okay. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, first of all, let me welcome my very special guest tonight. This woman actually needs no introduction because everybody knows me, knows her. This is my mama, my mother. And although we are not related by biological blood, we are related by the blood of Jesus, and the Lord sent her in my life. Oh my God, some 23 years ago. And this woman has been a rock, my strength, ever since my mom passed away. It was two people that I could count on for a hug, advice, to keep me strong when I was weak, to tell me the hard truth, even when I didn't want to hear it. And that is my grandma, who just passed away on Friday, Arbutus Scarwood, and my ace, my boom coon, my mom with another wound, trainer and speaker, Rosetta Cooper. Say hello to the people, mama.
Hello, everyone. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yes, indeed. So, well, let me bring everybody up to speed on this. For anybody that has, that's in the church circuit, that go, that know anything about preachers, the preachers, kind of preachers, and let's just even say, uh, circuit preachers, what they call circuit preachers. Um, and you will know Bishop Noel Jones. Bishop Noel Jones is also the brother of famed superstar singer actress Grace Jones. Pull up to the bumper, baby. Well, that's her brother. So they we're from Jamaica, but they were raised in New York, and he is now a preacher in uh, Los Angeles, California. Well, he married about 2 years ago. He married his on and off again girlfriend, the beautiful now Mrs. Loretta Jones, Chef Loretta Jones, because she's a chef. And baby, when I tell you that woman can lay it out, I seen her spreads. As a matter of fact, she's the one that turned me on to making shrimp and grits. She is a fashionista. She's gorgeous. She's statuesque, beautiful, and they got married about 2 years ago. Um, well, this past summer, while right after the morning service, A woman by the name of Regina Adams decided that it was okay for her to come up to Lady Jones after service and punch her in her face, knocking her out cold, sending her to the hospital by EMS. Now, of course, security acted immediately and apprehended this woman, and she was taken away. And to my understanding, she was not arrested. And this is according to her own confession. She was not arrested, but she was 5150, which is to put under a 72-hour psychological hold in a crisis center or psychological facility. She said she didn't even stay 24 hours. She justified these actions by stating that Lady Loretta has been harassing her for 10 years. You can hear her while she was being carried out by security. You can hear her saying, she gave my daughter cancer, that's why I did that. Later on, you can hear her on her live. She went live on her own live and said that Lady Jones had been harassing her. She hacked her bank accounts. She said she hacked her. I'm gonna mute you because it's a loud background. Let
Oh,
me.
okay. Yeah.
You can unmute yourself at any time whenever you want to speak, or I'll unmute you. However, okay. So she said that Lady Jones hacked her bank account, her food service, delivery service account, Uber Eats or Grubhub or something. She had hacked that account, that she got under her car and disabled her brakes. And that she even went so far as to send people her way to smoke in her presence, knowing that she was asthmatic and had asthma. So Ms. Loretta allegedly had done all these things to her, and she was tired of it. So she felt as if it was time for her to take matters in her own hand, and she went and approached somebody that is less than a third her size, probably. Because we're talking, this woman is not a little lady. She's very tall and heavy. And you could probably put 3 of Loretta inside of her. And she thought that it was okay for her to take matters in her own hands. And she went and punched her. Now, why she's not being held or incarcerated or charged or what have you is beyond me. Now, charges were filed, and I got that from a very close source to the situation. Charges have been filed, but what other legal ramifications that have been taken, I have yet to be revealed. But why this woman is still walking around and able to do her press tour and tell her side of this story and collect money while she's doing it is beyond me. Right now, she's living in a hotel with her daughter. Her daughter, who she said Lady Loretta gave cancer to. Go figure. Now, if you listen to our conversation, if you listen to anything that this woman has to say, you can tell that her elevator is not going all the way to the top. And she's some ground beef short of a taco, or she's planting dead flowers roots up. Okay? We know that she needs help. And this is the honest truth. The woman needs help, and she's in denial about the fact that she needs help. So I am going to put, matter of fact, I am going to put the link to this interview in my chat right now. I'm going to put the link to the interview in my chat. And when you get a little time, I want you all to go ahead and listen to that interview. And you will be able to determine for yourself what state of mind she's in. She's all over the place. It makes no sense. And I mean, she just rambles on and on and on and on and on. Now, there's so many questions. So many questions. But one of the questions that I have is, do you think it's wise? Now, I'm not talking about St. James, because, I mean, listen, uh, the whole purpose of having and being a content creator is to give content. I get that. But is it wise to give a platform to an individual that is mentally unstable, that has proven to be a threat to someone else, a platform, to give them a platform to get on and do all this meaningless chatter? Because this is basically what it was. She made a bunch of allegations about Lady Jones, and they are very unrealistic allegations. These are things that will only come from the mind of a person who is manic, paranoid, or maybe even schizophrenic. So, I know you have experience with people with mental illnesses, people that have been paranoid, schizophrenic, manic depressive, bipolar, which is pretty much the same thing, and things like that. Now, if a person like that was guilty of assaulting someone else, especially and this is at her own admission, do you think it's wise to give that person a platform to continue to talk about it? And she even said that she's not apologetic, that she would not take it back at all. She's not gonna apologize because she intended to do what she did. Do you think it's wise to give that person a platform to be able to air out the mania?
Okay, the question is, am I still muted? Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we
Okay.
hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Now the question that you asked is it fair or is it right to give the
No,
person
I said, do you
a,
think it's wise
okay, wise?
to give a person like this a platform?
Of course it's if wise. Of course, my opinion, of course, it's wise, because I
Okay.
would go back to where it started from. I mean, we go back to how long was Jerry Springer on air? They don't use that term now. They didn't use it during his. My background might be a little loud because I am driving. However, that was his platform. You understand the
Mm-hmm.
unstableness. So when you start thinking about, is it wise to give a person a platform? Now, who's giving the person a platform? Is it a mental health organization? Would it be wise? No, it wouldn't be not. It would not be wise. However, if your purpose is to create content, that is definitely some content to create. It stirs up the muddy water. You know, when you water is muddy, if you let it settle, guess what it does? It gets clear at the top and the mud is at the bottom. So if you're a content creator that creates mud and create things, but I think everybody needs to hear both sides of a story, whether it's uh, created in a person's mind or actually really true. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that listening to the content that was shared, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
fair that a person can hear the other side, even though it may not be true what the other person is saying or sharing with you. But should they have that platform? I think that creates an interest, because it is going to be, as they say, two sides, three sides, other sides to the story.
Right. Mhm. Right.
So I kind of think of it in that manner.
Right. Okay. And that's exactly what I said. From the beginning. I don't blame uh, St. James because it's content. You know, it's content,
Now,
and
who
that's
is St. James?
St. James is the young man that did the interview. He's the young man that did the interview with the assailant. It was
Okay, got you.
right on his platform. So I understand, and it's for all intents and purposes, it was good content. But as far as her being, it's almost like she's bragging about what she did. It's like she's bragging about it, and she has no remorse. No, as a matter of fact, he he asked her about apologizing, and she said no. I'm not apologizing. She said because if I apologize, then it made no sense for me to do it in the first place. It made absolutely no sense. If you're gonna do something and you're gonna say I'm sorry about it later on, then why do it? You should have never done it in the first place. Which gives a clear understanding to the fact that she knew exactly what she was doing and she intended to harm this woman. Now, is this something that she is capable of going back and repeating and doing again? Could very well be so. Because if she intended to do it that time was to say that she's not satisfied by her actions the first time and she don't want to go back and finish the job, so to speak. So my hopes and prayers are that Lady Loretta is taking every precaution to keep herself safe, for her husband safe. And also the other part of that is that there are other people like minded of Regina Adams that are going on and saying that they are going through the same type of thing, or they're glad she didn't because this is what they wanted to do, and this, that, and the other. Because you know that there are a lot of people that are as ill as she is and thinks like she thinks. So sometimes all they need is one amen to justify what they're doing. And you know how mentally ill people think in their world, they are the one being affected or they are the one that's being harmed. So it's them. It's not them that's the threat. It's the other person. So I delved a little bit into this lady's history. And as I went through, Loretta is not the first person that she's done something to distract. Now, as far as physically, I'm not saying that, but she's done some stuff to other people. People on her job, people that works in the son of the of a hotel owner in a place where she was residing. She had the whole uh, immigration and the feds or whoever swat this man, telling him that he was part of the cartel and all this, that, and the other. She did her own surveillance and all that, and swatted that man. The woman at the person at her job, she wrote letters to corporate and all this, that. I mean, it's just a lot of things that she's done to affect people's lives in a very traumatic way. And then not only that, 10 years ago, she was living in a whole nother state, in a whole nother place. So she wasn't even where Loretta is. Or she's living in another state. So for her to say that for the last 10 years that Loretta's been stalking her and hacked her phone, hacked her bank account, her Grubhub, that Loretta got under her car and disabled her brakes. This type of thing. It's just, if you listen to that video, and it's far fetched. You understand me? It's like, yeah, you can tell she's all over the place. But
But wouldn't that be considered part of the uh, well, I'm just going to say the lifestyle of, and I'm just going to call it rich and famous, or the famous, or people of notoriety, that people mentally, there have been women who were mentally in love with stars and they stalked them and they did those kind of things, and none of that was true. However, they did it. How did they get away with it? I don't know. It's
right,
so unfair. But I
it,
guess that's where stepping in and really making more monies available for the mentally ill or those that are mentally challenged, and get more support for that, because that's serious. She could
it,
get hurt.
now I will even let me say this now. First of all, I gotta give a hats off to St. James in the first place, because how he conducted that interview without cracking a smile, or you can see times that he wanted to laugh or break. How he conducted that whole interview without breaking is beyond me. I mean, he did a really good job interviewing this woman and keeping a straight face, like, because it would have been, yeah, a lot of the things she said were questionable, and I'll mention some of them in a second. And then the other thing is that he did attempt to talk her into apologizing. He did attempt to talk her into getting help, because he tried to do it with wisdom. He tried to do it in such a way to let her know, okay, because she asked him, "Do you think? Oh, so you saying that I need to seek help because something wrong with me because I punched her?" He was like, "No, no, no, no." He said, "I'm just saying, maybe we can." He says, "I talk to a therapist every once in a while. Sometimes I need to think of other ways that I can go about doing things, or this, that, and the other, or whatever. Not just because of that, just because for my own mental clarity, and I need to talk." So he was trying to, you know, talk her into perhaps getting some help or apologizing for what she did and all that type of thing. But she was saying stuff like, when they said that, well, how did Loretta find her? Because she lives in hotels and she's been hotel hopping for a while, for years. She said, "How did Loretta find you?" She said, "Through my phone." She hacked my phone. Then he asked her, she said something about she can tell in the spirit that Loretta was talking about her and doing things. And he said, "Well, how? What do you? Can you explain that to me?" She said she stopped eating meat, and ever since she stopped eating meat, it helps you to hear in the spirit when people are talking about you. Then she said he asked her, where was she sitting in the service? She said she was sitting towards the back. How long was she there? She said, well, she was there the whole service. Then he said, well, what made you come to, like, this is the time for me to act on? She said, because I felt in my, I could hear it in my spirit that they were looking for a dark skinned person to pick on. But she didn't say pick on, she said another word. She said, but they were looking for a dark skinned person because if you hurt and kill a dark skinned person and eat their intestines, it will heal you from whatever you were sick from. Do you know what I said?
So she made these statements to the guy, St. James.
Exactly. But did you?
She made the
She
allegations
no
related
no
to
no.
why she.
She ain't make no allegations. She said fact. This is a fact according to her. So listen, she said if if you eat the intestines of if you kill a dark skinned person, eat their intestines, it will help you heal you from anything, any sicknesses that you may have. What in the night of the living dead is going on here? What in the night of the living dead? You hear me?
So what proof did she share any proof with him?
She just told him that just what she said. Now, I never know that this to go on in black people. Child, I ain't never heard that to go on in no people. Not that's some Jeffrey Dahmer kind of stuff. Some Clarice, Father Bean
Wow.
kind of stuff. Girl, no. That's why I said that's the part that makes it scary to put this kind of stuff on the platform because you got other like-minded people that get triggered and excited, stimulated by this foolery. So this is the kind of stuff that she was saying. So she had to do something right then and there because of that. And then she said, and they didn't, if they would have 51, 52, 50 her, then they would have kept her for 14 days and she would have been able to get out. But they only
Now you say 52 her? What is
50,
that?
52, 50. You know what a 5150 is, right?
No, not yet.
Psychiatric hold, or 72
Oh,
hour
okay.
psychiatric hold.
Oh,
So
okay.
a 5250 is when they hold you for 14 days and you can't get out. You there and you gonna stay there. So she said they didn't do that. They only did a 5150, which is why I got out so quick.
But is that true?
We don't know what's true because
Oh, okay.
we're not. That's what she said.
Okay.
But she said that she stopped eating meat so the spirit can tell her when people are talking about her. And she also said that the spirit revealed to her that they was looking for a dark skinned person in the service so that they can kill him and eat her organs, her intestines. So this is the foolery that I mean, and she believes She believes what she's saying to be factual. She believes what she's saying to be true. So my thing is, I want Lady Jones to get some protection around her. But more than anything, I want other people out there to not play patty cake with these psychotic demons. Don't play a person who has, now I'm not saying everybody that has psychological issues are demons. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's not what I'm saying. Period, point blank. It's not what I'm saying. But you have psychopaths out there that go way beyond the extreme. Those people are like serial killers and things like that. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, don't pussyfoot with people. If you see somebody that has a problem or an issue, do something about it. Don't sit up and encourage those people to act on those instincts. You don't do that.
How how do you discourage a person from acting on their own impulses?
Not on, okay, I'm not talking about on impulse. I'm talking about somebody. If I were to come to you and say, because I already know how you about to answer me. If I were to come to you and say, "Ma, the spirit is talking to me, and I need to go find me a dark skinned person to kill so I can get better. That's the only one I'm gonna get better, Ma. I gotta drink the blood of a dark skinned person or eat the intestine of, and the spirit is telling me this is how I get healed. And I'm serious. What is your response gonna be to me?
Well, if you
To,
came to me or anybody came to me and said that, I would automatically know that they are having some type of mental breakdown.
exactly. But what would you
So
do? What would you do? What would you
I
do
would
to me?
call
Would
I
you
would
do to me?
call I would call some help immediately, right then and there. I would call some help for them because they are crying out for help. They're talking about hurting someone that is unaware of their thoughts.
That's my point. But you're
So
not
I'm
just
saying,
sitting back. My
okay,
thing
go
is,
ahead.
you're not just sitting back. You are close to the situation, and this is what I'm talking about. Other people out there have family members that are mentally ill, and they just don't. I ain't open the door for that fool because I don't feel like dealing with that today, or this, that, and the other. But they know that at some point in time that this person is saying, when that girl come out, I'm gonna kill her because she won't let me see. She got my kids, she got my card, and she been hacking this, and I heard it through the radio. She was gonna do this and this, that, and the other. You know that person need help, but you either ignore it or you laugh and be like, "Yeah, you should get her. Go on, nigga, get her, get her, get her." You know what I'm saying? There are people who would do that. That's a dangerous thing to do because they don't listen to reason, because they don't think that there's anything wrong. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be that one that doesn't do anything about it or to encourage them to act on their instinct. Even if you think it's funny or a joke or whatever, it's not. Because you never know when that individual is serious. All these people who carry out these mass shootings and stuff and have manifestos, most of those people say, well, they were acting a little different. He kept saying he was going to do this. She kept saying she was going to do that. And then later on, there it is. You found this, you found that. The last thing you do is give him a gun and let him go carry it out. Like this high school Oxford shooter. Don't don't play into it. You see what I'm saying? And that's out for anyone out there who may be dealing with someone who is struggling with especially with schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia. You never know. when they might act on it, ma. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. I do understand that.
Yeah. And I know you would already know. First of all, you're gonna be like, girl, first of all, sit your so and so down somewhere. You ain't about to do nothing with nobody. And I know you. Because we had that relationship. I can't hear you. I'll unmute you. I don't want you to stop driving. Oh yeah, you muted yourself. You got to
Yeah,
do
I had muted myself because I didn't want so much noise.
it. Right.
Uh-huh.
So, but
Okay.
we have that relationship. We have that relationship
But
where you
my question is, okay, if a person maybe say if a person doesn't understand that this is serious, that they just feel like you said, hey, I ain't paying no attention to them. What should they do? How should a person handle it?
the same way you did. You call someone. You got every last one of my girls' numbers and my son. And I'm pretty sure you guys would get together and say, hey, okay, listen, this is what's going on. This is what I know. Have you noticed that? Okay, let's get a game plan. Let's intervene. Let's do an intervention. It may not be something that you can handle just by yourself. But if you notice that there's a problem, something needs to be done. And 9 times out of 10, her daughter is probably as ill as she is simply because she's been dealing with her mama for all these years.
Oh wow.
I know
You're
some
right.
I know some situations like that. The mom was ill and manipulative, so she started with her children, and all three of her kids are medicated or have been medicated, and wasn't nothing wrong with them except for what she was doing to them. She was making those children crazy. And then the other thing I say is pray for your leaders. This is the type of stuff that they are up against. It's always somebody that's going to feel like they're better at your than you are. It's always somebody that feels like they can better fill your shoes than you. They can do
That's
better at
true.
what you do. Always. And what I always say about the first lady is the first lady is always the first lady to be disrespected. There is no handbook. There is no guide to tell a first lady how to be first lady. Rule number one, first lady in one-on-one. Cross your legs at the ankles. Number two, cover your knees when you have on shorter skirts. Number three, always shake with the right hand and smile with the left side of your face. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's no rule book. There's no playbook. But people expect for them to just be go to sleep and wake up, boom, with all these first lady instincts. It doesn't work like that. Same thing with pastors, but pastors do have training. They have ministers' classes, pulpit etiquette, all of these things. I mean, I would
So where my question would be how well if there's
you pause. I can't hear anything. You froze. Okay.
hello?
Yeah, you're back. Can you hear me?
I couldn't. I can now.
Yeah, you're back. You said your question is what now?
Okay, you say there's no rule book for first ladies, and that
Right.
she have to protect.
No there's no rule for first lady, so she doesn't automatically wake up knowing how to conduct herself. So what I'm saying is that you have to, she has to learn, and they're going to be trial and error. There's some women that are very graceful and all of that. But gracefulness does not automatically make you a teacher or a prayer warrior or a financial expert. You know, all of those things don't come. There's no playbook. There's no guide to teach a first lady how to be a first lady. But even pastors and ministers have ministers classes, etiquette classes, uh, hermeneutics, and all of those types of etiquette and exegesis and all these types of things. But a first lady, you don't have all that. All you have is the common sense and a woman's instinct. And then so many people feel like they can do it so much better than you instead of giving you a window of time to get into that position and hit the ground running, so to speak.
Why do you feel? I mean, why do you think that people target first ladies? I'm just curious myself now.
Because she's the most vulnerable side. When women are automatically more sensitive than men by nature. And there are always other women because the ratio, how they say the ratio for men versus women, there's 4 women to every 1 man. And you feel like all 4 of them gonna come after your man just because he can be a no good, abusive, broke, uneducated, broke, toothless, stanky foot man, and they still want him because of the position. So, and then women are very jealous and envious creatures. You are a shop owner, man. You know that. You get in the shop and women come in there don't like each other just because they don't. You ain't gotta have a reason. I do not like them. Why?
But it has been my experience always to like everybody I knew always loved the first lady. I mean,
Well, that's a beautiful thing. I'm not saying it's never happening, but I'm just saying that she's the very first one. When I was a pastor's wife, I had a huge number of people that absolutely loved me. Some of them I still in contact with right now. But there were a few that felt like they could be a better first lady than me, and they got a group of followers, and they got together and started the biggest messes, the little fires all over the place. But it's okay. It happens. You just got to learn how to deal with it. But like I said, we're going to say that for another broadcast. But pray for your leaders because they are up against a lot. They are up against a lot. And they don't know when he's up praying for you, 9 times out of 10, she's up right along with him, holding his hand and touching and agreeing for your deliverance, for your healing. But in this situation, I believe this woman, all the excuses that she used, I believe she just wanted to be his wife. Because she did not attack this woman all this time until after they married. And she's a beautiful woman. She's gorgeous. I mean, she's very pretty. And then when the young lady made the comment about the dark complected people, she felt like their spirit was looking for a dark skinned person. She's not even that dark, but she's darker than the first lady. The first lady is really light skinned and she's brown. So some people have their own complex and issues with colorism, and they want to put it off on someone else. And it's not the other person that has an issue with the colorism. It's your own personal issue, your own lack of confidence. I think black is beautiful. Dark skinned women have some of the most beautiful skin, and baby, they don't crack easy either. You see dark skinned women in their 60s and 70s and still got real smooth skin. They age well. A lot of them age beautifully. So I mean, it's an issue that people have internally. But believe it or not, I had a big problem with my complexion. Growing up, I was the lightest person in my house, and I was picked on because of it. I wanted to be darker, so much so that I used to wear my stepmother's makeup, and my stepmother is dark skinned. I used to wear her foundation, and it took one of my elder cousins to come up to me and say, "Don't do that no more. Don't wear that. Is not your color." Because mom, when I tell you that the color makeup I was wearing is Kahari's complexion, you hear me? But I was so self-conscious about myself because of what other people had told me. So colorism can be an issue. And some people have a problem with you because of your complexion. But you got to be confident in you, baby. Okay. But do you have anything else you want to cover? Hello? The screen froze.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Was
Okay.
there anything you wanted to add before we end the show?
No, no, no. I agree with you. I mean, I guess I'm shocked. Probably a lot of more people are as well that this is going on. That how many people are jealous. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. So a lot of times people with those hangups is because they could actually be jealous of the first lady.
It could be because
Okay.
they want to be one. You jealous how you look, and it's like you know how people say, "Well, she thinks she fine because she light skinned." No, it's not that she thinks she fine because she light skinned. You think she fine because she light skinned, or you think you're not fine because you're not. It could be something that simple, or I want to be in her position that she's in. How did she end up being the one he picked and not me? Or I can do it better. I mean, honey, you would imagine. You can't even imagine how many women throw themselves at the pastors, the ministers, the deacons, any man that has some authority, and not to mention money. Oh yeah. So that's it. I just want to again. I want to shout out St. James uh, before doing the interview, um, which further validates what I believed all along is that the woman has a mental illness. She's mentally ill and she needs help and needs to be um, brought to charges for what she did because it's wrong, and the fact that she's unapologetic about it. Um, Also, how he conducted himself through the whole thing, because baby, some of that stuff I don't even see how he kept straight face. I ain't even gonna lie, because there was so many times I was like, oh please, eating somebody's guts to get back, cut it out, like I'm like, at one point I think I did comment in his comments. You believe this yard of baloney? Cut it out. So shout out to him. I did leave the link in the video. Let me let people know. Let me see if I can leave the link to. Uh, see. All right. And again, I want to say, pray for all of the leaders because they go up against a lot, even celebrities. A lot of people get stalked all the time. They get their lives are threatened, and so many other things. So we want to pray that they're safe and they're being kept safe, covered by the blood of God of Jesus. And I'm grateful to you, Mom, for joining me at last minute on this. I appreciate you so much. And I know you were busy and you still love me enough to keep me company up here. And your input is always appreciated. And I'm grateful for it. But if there's nothing else, we're gonna say we love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Don't forget to like and share. And if you're not subscribed already, and subscribe. And you can always support us. My cash app is $SISLO. Monetary gifts are always appreciated to help me keep my internet on, to continue to bring content. I do need a new computer. So anything you do, all your donations are appreciated. Thank you for everything. I love y'all on purpose. And if the creek don't rise, we never say goodbye because that's so permanent. We always say later. For now, anything you want to say, Mom?
No, I one of the things I would like to say before you end the program is that thank you so much for sharing this information because it opened my eyes, and I'm quite sure it opened up others so that they'll get a better understanding of the issues of mental illness that people are walking around here looking normal, acting somewhat normal, only when you hear them speak, it's when their behavior comes to life. Because saying you're gonna kill a certain complexion of a person in order to heal yourself, we know that is very uh, a problem. And when
Right,
you're acting out, and others could be not knowing what they're dealing with these mentally ill people. So I guess a lot needs to be done. So for you bringing up that issue, it is very important, and I appreciate it. And it's going to help us understand it, and to understand, like you say, there's always somebody waiting in the wings to take your place, whether they're mentally ill or hey, fully understand what they're doing, but they're out here, and we have to be conscious of them, and we need to pray for them. So thanks for bringing that issue up.
well, hallelujah. Amen. Thank you for jumping on and thank you for your input. And I will be sending you some information on the next topic so you can get a chance to catch up on it and we can talk about it a little bit more.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, I love you on purpose. Okay, y'all, we're going to go
Yeah,
now. Like, subscribe, and support the channel. Share.
thank you.